Hello and welcome to Tuner Tips by todderbert. In front of us we have the AllPowers S300. It's a 288 watt-hour portable power station with wireless charging, Bluetooth app control, and two 300 watt outlets. Amazing. You can find it selling on Amazon and Walmart for $159.99. I'll have both links below for you to check it out. Definitely a worthwhile device to have in your household for emergencies, for camping, on the go, off the grid. Just a great thing to have. So let's take a look at it. So in the box, you get the S300 right here. The box is too big to put on camera, but this is it. This is really cool. It's compact size, which we'll go over. You also get your AC adapter, 60 watt device. There you go, some information on it. And you get the user manual, which we'll just quickly flip through because I can spend a lot of time on this and I really don't want to. So let's just go ahead and flip it because it's a very easy thing. It has app control. I'm not going to demo that because I didn't like the idea of turning on my location. So yeah, that's not something I'm going to do. And I can't honestly think I need Bluetooth at all, but it's there for those who want it. The cool thing is it looks like you can turn on and off the device from your phone. Handy if you don't mind turning on your location service. Again, don't know why you have to do that, but there you go. So here we go. Let's flip through this fast. There's your display. Try to get this on camera so you can just kind of freeze frame it. You can charge it. There's charge times, charge device. Pretty awesome. You can combine two of those methods to get up to 140 watt input. That's amazing. And it does do through charging. So you can charge a bunch of devices and the device itself at the same time. It's just absolutely crazy, but it does it. Input charging, you can charge from the Type-C jack, you can charge from the car or AC adapter on the DC input, and the Anderson connection for solar panels. Amazing, because it has a solar charge controller built into the device. Talk about solar charging there. We have outputs, which I'll cover. Again, very simple stuff. Wireless charging is handy if you got a phone that can handle it or device. And it looks like it goes over application runtimes you can expect from devices. There you go. Yeah, making coffee is going to definitely run it down quick. Running a fan, definitely. So anything AC powered is going to really run it down. I'd stick with DC powered stuff. Maybe a DC powered fan, like a USB fan or something like that. Okay, and then over here we have our specifications. There you go. We got the battery capacity. It says 78,000 milliamp hour. Wow, 288 watt hours. Nice. And down here we have what I can input, and I'll try to cover all of those. But in case I miss something, there it is. And I think that's about it. We have some information, working temperatures, sine waves. So yeah, it has a nice inverter, of course. Protections. There you go. FAQs. And of course, contact information. All right, we're done with that. So let's get to the device because we're going to demo this thing. We're going to put it through its paces, kind of show you what it can do. It'll be fun. In a typical environment too, especially for us radio tuners, our flashlight guys. It does everything in a situation where you need power, and of course renewable power too by using solar. Just absolutely amazing. They also have links to the AllPowers S300 paired with a solar panel. I also will include in the iCard section there a video where I show the S300 hooked up to a solar panel, 100 watts charging it, which is pretty nice to have. So yeah, let's go over dimensions real quick. This is 8 1/4 inches in length. We have a height with the handle folded down at 6.5 inches. We have a front to back depth of 4 3/8 of an inch. Weight-wise, it's not too bad. It's compact. It's 7.5 pounds. Easy to carry around. Not too bad at all. And a lot of power capacity here at the bottom. That's where your battery's at. All your circuitry is up here. So absolutely amazing. So let's go to size. I usually have radio, some tuner channels. So we have CC Skywave in the house. Awesome. Give you an idea there. What else do I have handy? I always have like a little pocket, C pocket in the house. There you go, cool. And of course, you don't have those radios. I have a deck of cards. Iron Man, he's the man with the master plan. He loves AllPowers power stations from China land. I don't know. He's Iron Man. But anyway, yeah, you can see deck of cards. Give you an idea just how big this is. Not too bad. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about features of the S300. There's quite a bit, and then I want to get to demoing this to have some fun. So let's cover the features fairly quickly, and then yeah, let's get into demo mode. So let's go turn it to the left-hand side of the device. We got some intake vents. The only time the fan turns on is when AC is running. DC mode, I did not notice it at all, even with a full load. So here's our input, DC input here. That is for the AC adapter, as well as the auto, if you have an auto adapter as well. That input can take 12 to 20 volts at 5 amps max. The AC adapter provides about 60 watts, as I mentioned, but up to 100 watts, that's pretty cool. Here we have an Anderson connection for solar panel charging. Use that, of course. It's pretty awesome because it can handle 16.6 to 22 volts, up to 5 amps. So you can do quite a bit of charging there as well with the solar panel. We have a 12 volt DC output, which are standard like automotive or marine. See that? So we have 10 amps, 12 volts, 10 amps total. This has 3 12 volt outputs, and it shares them all. So if using all 3, it's going to divide it into 3.33 amps if they're evenly distributed. So this one here, though, if you're just using the one, will go straight 10 amps, which is the only one that does it. The other 2 are, I think, 5 amps, which we're going to cover here in a second. Going to the front of the device, right up on top there, you can see we got 2 AC outlets. Combined output is 300 watts. Each single use is 300 watts. So you're just using one, 300, but then of course if you're using 2, it's divided out. It says a max surge of 500 watts total, so keep that in mind. I would probably just use low power AC devices. I would, just to save the battery. Otherwise you're going to dump it fast, and then you're going to be waiting forever for it to charge back up if you're using solar or if you're off the grid. So we have 2 LED lamps here. You can turn them on with these little orange buttons. They also turn on your display if you hit them once, but you hit them twice, light turns on. Pretty bright. And the beep, you can't turn off. That's a pretty loud beep. It's one annoyance that I noticed that in the middle of the night, they'd be kind of waking people up. But you only use those in an emergency. Pretty much use flashlights or lanterns that are quiet. But yeah, you can turn on display that way, or you can do it with the power button or Bluetooth function. So this power button can turn on and off the display. As you can see, if you press and hold it, it does turn on the Bluetooth function. So you compare with your Bluetooth devices. Again, I'm not going to show that because I really don't want to do the location services turned on, but for those who don't care, then by all means, you'll have Bluetooth menu showing you what this screen's showing you. Same thing. I don't think a power station really needs that, but it's a fun little add-on if you're into that. DC, so these are master controls. This will, on Type C, I noticed you don't have to turn these on for some reason, probably because it's an input-output. I noticed I could use that without having to engage these. But that's the only thing I noticed on this device. Everything else I had to engage the DC. So turn off the display. If you click the DC here twice, DC mode comes on. You can see USB mode's ready. DC is activated. And if you put Type C, it'll show you what is charging. If you look here, we have hours remaining, capacity, and then over here we have our watts out and in. Now when you're charging, it'll show input. If you're just charging, if you're doing both charging and output, I notice it goes to output only. For some reason, just shows that. Again, turn DC off, AC, press and hold, and it'll turn on a fan. Wait, I did it twice, sorry. Click, click. There we go. This AC on, his little fan symbol, because the fan is running without anything connected. Okay, we're going to demo that in a little bit here, so we're going to go ahead and turn this off. Just press and hold. I do like how it lights up. Now, if you don't turn that off, it'll stay running all the whole time until the battery's dead. So remember to turn these off if you're not using the device. Okay, let's go to the right hand side, which is a lot of fun. I like this side here. A lot of outputs. Yeah, that's awesome. Good to see on a small power station. There's where our fan output is. A lot of air coming out of there. So if you look here, we have our DC outputs. We have a Type C, which is a 60 watt input and 100 watt power delivery output. That's amazing for a Type C jack on a small device like this. Next to it is 3 5 volt 3 amp USB outputs, and it does share. So if you run all 3, you only get 7.4 amps output max share between the 3. Over here we have 2 12 volt outputs, 5525s, which means 5.5 millimeter outside, 2.5 millimeter inside jacks. So if you're using something, you know what jack to use. These are 12 volts, 5 amps each. So if you're using both, it's using 12 volts, 10 amps. If you're using the other side as well, it'll split it up into 3. So you share all on 3, 12 volts, 10 amps total, giving you 3.33 amps on all 3 if you're using all 3 12 volt outputs. So let's go ahead and go to the top of the device. On the top of the device, we have a built-in handle, which folds up. Nice tight fitting. Shaking everything on the table as I try to pull that up. Wireless charging, which is awesome. We'll demo that. So to do that, we have to turn on the DC. Okay. And then we'll grab a phone to charge. And then we just set it right on a certain spot. There we go. It'll start charging our phone. So this is great. You can charge your phone, of course, without cables. And then, of course, you could be plugging in your radios to charge, your flashlights, fans, whatever you're doing, AC, all that stuff can charge while this is charging as well. Just an absolutely amazing setup. Liking that. So there's the phone. It's still charging, I believe. Yeah, there you go. Charge icon. Awesome. All right. So yeah, that's 5 volts, 1 amp output if you're wondering how fast it is. It's not super fast, but at least it's something. It's good to have in emergency if you don't have the cable and you got to charge a phone that has that ability. That is very good to have. Very handy. So yeah, there's that. We covered most of the features. Let's have some fun demoing it, right? I think I covered everything as far as power output. Power delivered. That's pretty important. So let's go over that. Now we know it supports through charging. Of course, you could have your input and outputs, everything going at once, which is absolutely amazing. So yeah, let's go ahead and flip this back down. DC mode's engaged here. I do know, run the masters. Again, make sure to turn them off. Otherwise, they'll just run it down if you're not using it with anything. So, but we'll leave that on. Kind of talk about it a little bit. So, power delivered. I believe it runs a circuit on the inside here because I notice it gets warm even with nothing hooked up to it. And I think it might be energizing the wireless charger. So there's some parasitic drain. I did notice that the efficiency maybe wasn't as high as most power stations because it has these extra features running in the background. Something to think about when your DC mode is engaged. There's stuff running in the background as well. Power delivered, I got a number of 46,095 milliamp hours, or that equals to 226 watt hours, giving you about an 80% efficiency. I was just charging one device at 5 volts, 2 amps. It was pretty much an iPad that was needing a charge, and brought it all the way down by keeping the charge right about 2 amps most of the time. So keep that in mind that even though it's advertised as 288 watt hours, you're probably not going to get near that using DC mode, definitely not AC mode, because of there's something that's draining the batteries in the DC circuit. Is that good or bad? Not sure, but you still get quite a bit of output there. Still impressed with over 200 watt hours in a small package like this. It does use cylindrical cells, by the way, 18650s. Probably uses about 24 of them is my guess to get that capacity. That would equal around 3250 a piece, milliamp hours, to give you an idea. So, but it's definitely used cylindrical cells. They show a picture of that, and then of course they wrote an email to them, and they did mention that yes, it does use cylindrical cells, which I kind of wanted to know. So there you go. Let's demo this thing. Let's have some fun, and then we'll do some final thoughts on the device. So yeah, this is what you use in the field. You're going to be hooking up to everything. So I'm just going to kind of turn it over here and start hooking stuff up. So DC-wise, actually, I probably should do this just for fun at first, and then we'll show you what more it can do. I'll start hooking up. I got little meters. The meters aren't always the best with these because I noticed it would lose a connection, but I have an iPad over here. Here you go, an iPad. I'm going to charge. I'm going to hook that up. That's going to pull about 2 amps. So I got this like little reading meter, and we're going to hook it up to one of my USB ports. And it should show it's pulling, about 2 amps. Nice. Okay, cool. Now I have another one I'm going to hook up. Got it off to the side here. Another meter. Here you go. This is just showing you on the meters. And I'm going to take these meters off because there has a meter built in as well on the device. So I'll plug this in the third spot because I have some room. I think this one's upside down, but you can still read it, I think. So that one's 5 volts at 1.4 amps. So again, it's going to share depending on what your devices need. But there you go. And that's charging a flashlight right here. Got my through night. And I got the iPad charging on me, so I get that to show you. I get that so you can see the iPad is charging as well. So cool. So we got those devices going. You get an idea kind of where the voltage is floating at. And of course, I'm going to plug in some more. So that shows you that the meters. So we're going to unplug from the meters to get these out of the way. And we're just going to direct connect these devices so we can show you everything in action. So I'm going to fold this so you can see the display. Turn it on. And we'll plug these in. And I'm going to use a Type-C as well. So there's the iPad connected. Here's the flashlight connected. I have a radio. Of course we have a radio. I have the flashlight. Just trying to show you everything. You're not going to see everything in frame here. Too many devices. I got a D808. I'm going to hook that up too as well. That runs on a 18650. That should charge no problem. Here's its USB connection. So we got the 3 USBs being utilized here. Okay, so that one I plugged in and it should show charging in it. And that's charging as well. That one's, I don't know what that pulls, about 3/4 of an amp. You can see we got some watts going there. Cool. Now the neat thing about having a power station is that you can also charge power banks with it as well. So right now, yeah, we're charging 3 devices. Nice. Tablet, radio, flashlight. Something you expect to use in an emergency, right? And then we have storing for major use a big power bank. So this is it's got power delivery in here. We can take an input. So we're going to use this. We're going to charge this one up too as well. So let's get this in the frame and try to find a cable that can hook up to that. So get this to, yeah, I'm going to have room for the cable. Fun stuff. Yeah, I love this thing, man. It's amazing. So here's our Type-C cable. We're going to plug it in there. And then we're going to plug it down here. Yeah, total fun. All right, cool. So I get a little high-pitched whine. I don't know if the camera's picking it up when all this stuff's engaged. But, okay, just went out. Good. See what we're doing here on power output. So our power output's showing 42 watts. About 6 hours running at this amount of wattage on the output with no input happening. Now it is showing its Type-C there, DC, and of course USB. So it is showing Type-C being active. And we are charging the power bank here, you can tell by the power delivery. So we are taking that, and it went up, of course, when I hooked this up. So now we're running all that. Let's hook up some more. It's always great. Let's turn on the AC. We'll power our lamp. So yeah, something I don't recommend, but the 60-watt bulb. Go ahead and turn off the light. Try to bring this over, plug it in. There's our light. And we're getting our wattage there. There you go. So we're about 100 watts almost. Output, 3 hours left on a full battery. Again, AC does drain quite a bit. But we're charging quite a bit. Right now we're power delivery this, we're 30 watts on there, we're on our flashlight or radio. Don't forget we're charging an iPad at the same time. And of course we could wireless charge that phone if we want. And we have DC outputs too we could use as well. So, alright, let's go ahead and turn this off and do final thoughts. So we can turn this off. Turns off our light. Turn that back on so you can see what's going on with the DC circuit. I'll plug this light in over here. Okay, we got our light back. Alright, so let's go ahead and just unplug this stuff carefully and do final thoughts on the device. Yeah, I like it. AllPowers. I have the ROMOS, and I have, I believe I did a few other power stations. The S200, yeah, the AllPowers S200. It's a smaller one. This just has more capabilities to it. I'm going to go ahead and just move this flashlight and radio off so we can get to the device. Yeah, there's a lot to move around here, guys. Alright, I think I just leave the iPad over here. Let's bring this bad boy into frame. S300 at $159.99 does get a recommended buy. It's cool. With the solar panel getting 50-watt input on a sunny day, that wasn't bad at all. Having all the abilities, all these USB ports, absolutely amazing. I do like that. I really don't need the Bluetooth. That they could have left off. I think most people will agree they probably won't use it. That's just me personally. I don't think we're going to be using that. I do like all these inputs. I think it's amazing. I don't like the beep of the lights, unfortunately. That's not something I'm a fan of. But again, it's $160. You're not going to be using these too often, but it does beep when you turn the DC on and off, which that can be annoying too if it's in the middle of the night and you're trying not to wake somebody up. But I can understand why they do that, so they know you've engaged it. But that is nice. It is neat. You can just quietly see what's displayed here, what you have left on your battery. So, yep, there it is. S300. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, big like, support this channel if you want. Links down below. Decent deal. I like it. Absolutely amazing. Pick one up, maybe with a solar panel too. I had fun with the solar panel. I really like solar tech. I think it's amazing. You're without power off the grid, you can keep this thing going indefinitely. That's the great thing about these. And this is really compact, so you can pack it away very easily. If you have a small setup, if you don't have a large RV, you just want something small. This is just a great thing to take with you, especially if you're like auto camping, got a small tent. This is perfect. Perfect in size to handle most power needs for lantern use and everything else. So there it is. If you want to see more about the AllPowers products, I might pick up more. Hit subscribe, hit the bell icon, get notified of future reviews, and of course, comment below what you think about the S300. Is this something you'd be interested in? Do you like all the capabilities it has? Being a radio tuner, flashlight lover, prepper, off the grid person, let me know what you think. Is it something you like? There's a lot of these devices out there. Is there something different that you like about it? Yeah, let me know. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you in my next video.